Hello and welcome, my Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, October 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hi. Hi, my subscribers, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Really appreciate it. You're helping me on my way on this whole YouTube journey that I never thought was going to be happening. So I'm very, very honored for your support, your likes, your comments, your shares, and all of that. If you are new to my channel, by the end of this, you might want to follow along because I'm good at what I do. Been doing it a very long time. I started reading tarot when I was 12. I'm 52 now. That's what I mean. So a real detour into now doing general reads on a platform like this. It's kind of cool and it's very creative and I'm enjoying it. So thank you all so much, and if you want to help me out, you know how to do that. And by the way, I've been doing extended readings if you're new to my channel, and I have to do them over on Vimeo until I get 30 grand in terms of subscribers, right? 30,000 subscribers, and I can have memberships, and then all of you can have all the access that you want to the extended reads there. So help me get there if you can. Otherwise, enjoy the reading if you can, because we are looking at a What Do I Need read, a 7-card draw, which means I'm drawing one card from 7 different oracular systems, all right? Actually, 3 are healing systems. I'll call those out as I go. 2 are tarot decks, and 2 are just straight up oracles, just to get you what you need, right? In different levels of consciousness about different things, what you need to be aware of. This full moon, in Aries, which is the blood moon, right? The 1st of October 2020. Then we would go obviously into the waning side of the moon, the releasing, the letting go part of it. The new moon in Libra goes new 3:31 p.m. So really the night before, if you've got to let go of anything, and certainly after that if you want to manifest some stuff, because certainly it looks like it's going void of course soon after that. So it's been happening a lot. So that being said, let's see what it is that you need to deal with, look at, let go of, be aware of. This full moon to new moon next. Keep an eye on your breath. Remember, this is a general read, right? You don't have to make it fit in your mind. These are clues, tips, and hints. It's not a full-on spread. It's really just 7 cards. So stay in the present moment. Focus on your breath. I will do the same, and I'll get you the guidance, grace, and clarity to the best of my ability. Shall we? Take a nice deep breath. Yes, and all of my, the decks that I use are in the description box all the way at the bottom, as well as I also put other cool links to other cool things, should you feel like going down a rabbit hole, as it were. So let's do this. One more deep breath. Okay, here we go. My collective pantheons, they just plugged me in. Hi. Hello, my collective pantheons of angels. Ooh, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, I need one card from the Caroline Mace archetype deck, one of the healing systems that we're going to be working with today, not technically a divination system. What is the dominant archetype that they need to alchemize from lead to gold, usually within their own energy system, within their own soul contract, within their own lives, but maybe they're dealing with this in somebody else? Or in a situation where it's very prevalent, this symbolic soul power archetype that they need to alchemize from lead to gold, shadow to light, toxic to healthy. This full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra. You got the magical child archetype. Now, considering Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, considered the child of the zodiac, Pisces being the elder and the journey from one to the other, we're looking at a very interesting pattern. Read Sacred Contracts by Caroline Mace if you can. There are 4 survival archetypes everybody has. The child, the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute. This is an aspect, or if you like, a sub-pattern or a sub-archetype within the child gestalt, because come on, we've all been children. So it's about our innocence. It's about new beginnings. It's about feeling safe in the world. Now, every archetype has both a shadow and a light. I'm very familiar with this one, and I want you to think Harry Potter, the magical child, the shadow attribute, which is also called the innocent child. I think that's more Jungian than the magical child, but whatever. The shadow, pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, particularly if the child has been disillusioned. Now, again, we're not talking little ones. We're talking adults, right? I don't read for kids. I read from people 18 and over. Always have, even when I was younger. So you kind of look at that. This is a pattern within us that, yeah, sadness, depression, disbelief in miracles. Gee, for what's going on in 2020, I'm surprised there isn't a whole other thing going on with the magical children of planet Earth just freaking the fuck out, right? Believing that energy and action are not required for growth. That's really important, because that's part of magical thinking, that it'll all just work out somehow. I don't know how. Now, that's different than faith. Faith is saying, all right, there's a plan in play. I don't know what it is, but I'm willing to be shown. Show me, right? That's the spiritual take on this. But that magical thinking, like people are just supposed to know what you want without you telling them. It's understandable when you're a baby because you cry and you get fed, right? Or whatever else needs to happen. I don't know. I don't have kids. I have a company. And cats. I don't have kids. I have cats. This is my hair. I don't wear wigs. But you get that as you mature. It's like, no, you have to ask for what you want in this world, at least horizontally. Like, don't expect the pizza to show up if you don't actually fucking order it. So the light attribute, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, stick a pin in that, we'll come back. The belief that everything is possible. Certainly the belief that everything is possible, we all have that as we are young, but the world, I won't say beats it out of it, feels that way, but writes over it, right? Can't completely eradicate that. That's in that child within us, the innocence of our heart, right? That just everything is possible. And in the quantum sense, that is very true. I just don't think everything is probable. Me turning into Nell Carter at the snap of my fingers may well be possible. I don't know how to do it. I doubt it's possible. Probable, I should say. Ugh, easy to screw up those two. So go back to what we stuck a pin in here. Seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things. And sometimes that is challenging in this world, but the eyes of a child can do that. The eyes of the magical child can see through the facades of what's going on into something. That this is all part of a divine plan, and everything's going to work out for the best, and everything's here to help us. Because everything's here to help you. The universe always has a plan. Whatever arises, love that. Those are the 3 titles of Matt Kahn's $3. But you see what I mean? He's got a lot of magical child energy in him, as do I. I just tend to sex it up a little bit with my makeup. I just tend to bring a little paganism to the party. But I relate to him on that level too. It's his innocence and his sweetheart, and telling, the inner child work that he does is so genius. So I would recommend that if the child of your heart is really, if you're feeling sad and depressed, waning moon doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stop during a waning moon, but it's something that you can use to, as water would flow, wear away at what needs to be healed. So there's healing here available for you, or maybe you're dealing with that in somebody else, considering that everybody has the child archetype, right? So that's the archetype that you need, right? This is all about what do we need. So we're going to go straight to our second healing system, which is the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck, considering I just mentioned him. So it's Carolyn Mace and Matt Kahn together again. Oh my God, I can't imagine the two. No, I can imagine the two of them in the same room. Oh, to be a fly on the wall for that one. That would be fun. I love them both. So we're going to get you a healing mantra, right? So that right off the bat, you can start with this magical child really putting together that you can ask, like this is the collective pantheons. This is the Ascended Masters. Those that have already played this game. Breathe. It's like they graduated, got their master's degrees, right? Their PhDs, their IUDs, however that works. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a reader. Breathe. My beloved Ascended Masters. Hi. The whole bunch of y'all here today. Thank you. Please, I need one card in clarity for the Aries Collective Sun. This feels very lovely. The Aries Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs from this full moon in Aries. Their sign, by the way, to new moon next in Libra, what is the healing mantra that they need, for example, to help them heal this magical child from shadow to light? Acknowledging apprehension. This is, well, they're all good. None of them suck. When it's a yes, nothing can stop me. When I'm unsure, it's always a no. I know, in my lighting and it's pastels, you can't see that. But you will be able to see the picture, because now for the What Do I Need reads, they told me, pop up the picture. Just don't do a line of cards. Make them pretty. It's like, okay. So let me read you what's in the book here. I do this one rather often, because as a professional intuitive, sometimes you get what I call a case of the meh. Right? Intuitively, it's like, do you want to do this or do you want to do this? It's like, meh, right? And this addresses that. When it's a yes, nothing can stop me. When I'm unsure, which is what meh is, it's always a no. When apprehension is acknowledged, right? When you're apprehensive, like, feel that for a second. Then an apprehensive magical child, like, well, I don't know. Is everything going to work out or not? I mean, there's a plan, right? I don't know, right? When apprehension is acknowledged, you become aware of a constant back and forth between polarities. As this back and forth movement occurs, it can feel nearly impossible to make decisive, empowering choices, right? Hello, how about just being incarnate during 2020 on planet Earth, at least? Recognize that either it is your heart trying to warn you of an old choice or pattern you're about to repeat, or it's a sense of unworthiness that makes you unsure about how to step into the biggest stage you dream of commanding. So kind of let's break that down. Let's unpack that a little bit. The back and forth, it can feel nearly impossible to make decisive, empowering choices as you acknowledge any apprehension, because it's about acknowledging. That's the thing. We're not trained to acknowledge when we're apprehensive. We're supposed to just act. You're supposed to know what to do. No, we're learning, we're healing, we're growing, right? Particularly be kind to that child of your own heart. You're feeling a little apprehensive, honey? Well, let's see. Can we determine that it's either the heart trying to warn us of an old choice or pattern we're about to repeat? I know that one, right? Or is it a sense of unworthiness that makes you unsure about how to step onto the biggest stage you dream of commanding? Now, there's more to that, but I think that's probably more the case here. That's what I'm getting with this magical child, is that maybe they've cast for something, they've prayed for something, they had a vision or something like that, and they're like, this whole new life is coming, but I don't know if I have what it takes. A child would feel that way, right? Would feel apprehension about, I don't know, first day of first grade, so to speak, right? This whole other platform that you're about to step onto. The power of discernment bubbles closer to the surface the more often your apprehensions are acknowledged. And it is needed to determine which of these two options is true. It's okay to be apprehensive. Can you acknowledge it? The soul acknowledges things. The soul of you says, yeah, we feel that way. It's okay. Those are the words for me. It's okay to feel apprehensive about this, sweetheart. Whatever it is, either of those two, it's okay. I love you, right? What kids shouldn't feel. Why shouldn't we feel apprehensive? But to acknowledge it and get that it's one of those two things, right? This mantra is ideal for resolving indecisiveness, balancing impulsive behaviors like a child might have, and trusting your instincts. Your instincts, your intuition, your gut, your guidance, your grace, right? So again, and I'm going to keep this face up so I can keep coming back to it for you. When it's a yes, nothing can stop me. And ain't that the case, right? If someone's like, do you want to do this? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in, right? Nothing can stop me. But when I'm unsure, it's always a no. And I would add to that, at least for now, right? Check me later, check me tomorrow, check me in a year, right? But right now the answer is no. Is it in alignment with my highest ethics and integrity? That's up here. This is... let's keep going. We're going to give you now 2 tarot. One from the Daughters of the Moon for what you need inside to be aware of, to deal with, to heal, what have you. And what you need with the Mythic Tarot. 1 card for the outside. What you need to heal with, deal with, what have you in the outside. So the yin and the yang, nice and simple, depending on your situation. Let's ask the goddesses. Breathe. One more. My goddesses of fire, my goddesses of Aries, please. I need one card in clarity for this Aries collective sun, moon, rising Venus sign for this full moon in Aries, their full moon, the new moon next in Libra. October 2020, please. We've got the magical child acknowledging apprehension. My goddesses, please, since this is the child of the zodiac, the Aries, the sign of Aries, cardinal fire, creative fire, fire, initial fire. What do they need to be aware of inside of themselves? And they're telling me doing this different. See, I have to enjoy this and find it interesting. Otherwise, it becomes a dredge, and you know, that's not the vibe I want to bring to it. So now I'm going to get both of those face down, and we'll turn them over together at the same time for the inner and the outer. Was not planning on doing that. Here we go. My gods, the divine masculine, please, one card in clarity for this Aries collective sun, moon, rising Venus sign, this full moon in Aries, their full moon, the new moon next in Libra, October 2020. We've got the magical child acknowledging apprehension. What do they need to be aware of outside of themselves? What do they need to deal with in the yang, in the outside, or maybe even the expression of their own yin to that yang? Correct pronunciation, I believe. Who we got here? Oh, well, you've got the Chariot on the inner and the Page of Swords on the outer, right? Yin, yang. So the Amazon, ooh, your wheels are spinning on the inside. You wanna grab hold. The magical child wants to play the game. It's like, okay, this is, like I said, when it's a yes, nothing can stop me. Yeah, it's revving up inside of you. But the outside, the Page of Swords talks about an immature form of communication, right? Now, immature not meaning infantile. Hi. Like a text, two-letter text is an immature communication. You know what a mature communication is when you sit face-to-face with somebody and you be vulnerable and you tell them your truth. Right? It may not be the ultimate truth, but it's where you are. It takes immense vulnerability, and the child, if it feels safe, completely vulnerable, this might be more like, I'm gonna shit stir, right? Or I'm going to say hi, or I'm going to deal with it. Now, of course, I hear that. It could be that the communication comes in, but I think it's one that you're wanting. They're giving me the image of the Chariot's wheels spinning, right? It's a little Fred Flintstone vibe there a little bit, right? It's like you're revving up, you're getting your interior together. To me, the light horse and the dark horse of the Chariot, certainly it's an emotional card. It's called the Cancer card for the sign of Cancer. It's motivation and inspiration. What are you afraid of happening? The motivation that moves you forward. And what is it, the love that you want to have happen, right? The love, the inspiration calling you forward. And it feels like this could all be like, like a, right? Like the starting pistol fires and they're off, right? It feels like this acknowledging apprehension is definitely a part of that. I feel like the more you work that mantra, because this is a element of air thing, you'll probably recognize of many communications that come in or that you put out in the world, which one it is, right? Or it could be an entire conversation. It's usually not just one, two-letter text. But that's what starts it off. But then you're off and running. I found this very, very interesting. We've got our third healing system, the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. Now, I have a very interesting relationship with this deck. I have had it since the 90s when I worked at Borders Books and Music in Bohemia, Long Island, God help me. So this has 4 suits in it. I took out the problem suit. The other 3 suits of luck, healing, and grace are back in the box on the bookshelf. And people are like, why would you do that? Because you want to be aware of the problem in a waning moon situation. As a witch, I will tell you that waxing moons are lovely. Usually, yes, you're building and growing and the light gets stronger, but we're talking lunar stuff here, more internal. So to be aware of what is dissolving inside of you, if you're going to dissolve anything, let it be whatever problem is in process of being, again, alchemized from lead to gold. So considering what we have on the table here, let's ask again the Ascended Masters who gave us this acknowledging apprehension card. What's the problem And it's not like you're just going to have one. Wouldn't that be nice for 2 weeks? That would be some big problem. But the dominant one connected to all of this. Please breathe. Oh, that's so lovely. Please, my collective pantheons, sorry, my ascended masters that took me up so high, so fast. I need one card in clarity, my ascended masters, for this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. This full moon in Aries, their full moon to new moon next in Libra 2020. My ascended masters, again, the magical child, acknowledging apprehension. Amazon on the inside, Page of Swords on the out. What's the problem here that they are dealing with? Just one card, please. This full moon to new moon next October 2020. Now this makes sense. You ready? I love reading several systems. She looked at me with lust. You cannot possess me, no. I studied Judaism for a while. This card of lust, you see. Lust is one of the 7 deadly sins. Now, Carolyn Mason, her book Sacred Contracts, I don't know if she did it originally, but not Sacred Contracts, defy gravity. To be able to heal beyond reason, right? You have to defy gravity. Because miracles are not reasonable. Neither is grace, for that matter. But she retitled it as entitlement. She retitled it as entitlement. That was them, not me, saying that. So you get that thing of lust, right? When you lust for something, it's very solar plexus. It's, I must have this, I must have this, I must have this. Now, can a child really want something to the point where it becomes lust? Now, if this is a sexual thing here, remember, we're not talking about sex with kids. Ugh, right? Fuck no. This is about that innocence of your heart that may be very, very disillusioned, right? Might be feeling depressed, pessimistic, a disbelief in miracles. So watch out for lust. Look, there's a difference between having a desire and lust. Particularly like with the grace of the deadly sin of entitlement, the grace that heals it or balances it, whatever you want to call the holy virtue, is the grace of understanding. So it's solar plexus. There's something here to be digested. Not so much like greed, the bottomless pit. That's the second chakra. Entitlement, lust, that solar plexus stuff is like, I need that to be whole. It's personal power. I need that. I need that. And do ya? One thing I'll tell you about the ego, blessed be the... Motherhood. It never stops. Come downstairs, sweetheart. Come here. There might be a squirrel on the deck outside. Balthazar! Stop it! Just meowing at the wall. If it's a distress meow, I will pause and go check on him, but he does this. It just drives me nuts. It goes right through me. It's that mama vibe, like a child crying in the other room. It's like, do I? Or is he just crying to get attention? He's a Leo. He's probably just crying to get attention. So anyway, so this thing of lust, right? Really dealing with that I need this. Or here's how entitlement shows itself. I've suffered so much, I deserve that, which makes you eat the entire box of chocolates. First cup, right? So keep an eye on that. The problem is lust. Really pay attention to not just the heart, but listen to that solar plexus, right? Because it has to do with acknowledging apprehension. The thing that you want, is this something that I need? Because what we need comes to us. We don't always get what we want, and when we don't get what we want, believe it or not, it matures us. Part of the maturation process. Look what happens when people get everything they want all the time. No bueno. What creates a sense of entitlement? Have you ever been around an entitled child? Oh, that's a nightmare, right? I want it. Give it to me now. It's very Veruca Salt. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, not the band. Blessed be Veruca Salt. Let's keep going. I'm getting what the healing is about here. This is about an interior maturation for you, certainly. But one that doesn't mean that you can't want what you want. Just be careful of lust. It's a question of lust. It's a question of trust. It's a question of all of what we've built up crumble to dust. It's all of these things and more. Some of you just went, woo! Don't be depressed mode, be Depeche mode. We're going to ask the higher selves of all involved here. See, he stopped. One card in clarity. Let's do this. Nice deep breath. Oh, that was lovely. Hello. The higher selves of all involved for this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. What do they need? This new moon in Aries, a full moon in Aries. First reading of the series. This full moon in Aries, their full moon, to new moon next in Libra. October 2020, a magical child, acknowledging apprehension. Wheels spinning of the Amazon, the chariot on the inside, page of swords, some kind of immature beginning form of communication here going on. I mean, I know people say page of swords, somebody's spying, maybe not really getting that. But with this element of lust, I'm not taking anything off the table here. If that is the problem, maybe there is some voyeurism going on here on the outside, some spying, some snooping. If you're feeling apprehensive about that kind of thing going on, sure, check your passwords and all that stuff, close your drapes. I have blackout drapes, they're the best things ever. So please, higher selves of all involved. What is the Whisper of Love from the Whisper of Love Oracle? What is it that they need? The piece of insight, inspiration, or information they need this full moon to new moon next. Like attracts like. If you are longing for more love in your life, and who isn't, you need to be more loving. Now, understand, lust to love is probably the last thing you were dreaming of. Hi, Belinda Carlisle, Jane Weedland, Kathy Valentine, Gina and Charlotte. This is very much then not like attracts like in that terms of, well, you're lustful, therefore it's not always the direct mirror that way. But this is saying that the love that you really need is about that child of your own heart. If you want more love in your life, you need to be more loving of yourself, of your own innocence. Because that's the thing about this magical child with this lust card. Of course there are things that we want. All right, I hear what they're saying. But the thing is that not getting what we want, as I said before, matures us. So it creates this tension in us that can then manifest itself as lust and entitlement. Very, very toxic, very, very painful, because this child, everybody wants what they want. The ego wants something until it gets it, then it wants the next thing. But when the child archetype is involved here, it's not about need, it is about want. And so if they don't get what they want, there's all sorts of sadness and depression going on here, and then may very well misplace some of that. So to give love to that child, to give that child the love that it wants. I mean, it does say if you are looking for more love in your life, you need to be more loving. So why not give that child the love that only you can give it? Now, I know that sounds like great. We'll buy 10,000 pounds of candy and never leave the house. Right? It doesn't work that way. What would you do to a loving child in your care? Can you do that to your own emotions, to your own heart here? I'm going to point you towards the work of Matt Kahn, to the work of John Bradshaw in the 70s and the 80s, Homecoming, inner child work, because it has expanded from its original psychological basis to now become a form of meditation and daily work and stuff like that, which maybe you need that, maybe you don't. But there's something about giving yourself the love that you are lusting for, and that doesn't have to be sexual. But what is it that you feel entitled to? That's the word they just circled for me. Keep an eye on that, because there's this message coming in or going out, this Page of Swords, that could trigger all of this. And remember, you're ready to go. A lot of 90s music in my head today. I guess my Gen Xers are watching. Hi, y'all. Let's get your last card down. Healing with the Angels Oracle, right? So like I said, we got 3 healing systems. We've got 2 tarot cards, and we've got 3 oracles. So let's ask the angels, what is the angel you most need, right? This is all about what you need, and I'll put it all together at the end there. What is the angel, the healing angel you most need to call on for this full moon to new moon next? Please take a nice deep breath. Hello, my angels. Welcome, welcome. Please, I need one card in clarity for this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. This full moon in Aries, their sun sign, to this new moon next in Libra, October 2020. Please, what is the angel they need to call on for this magical child within them? Really feels like it's within them, not within another, because we all have it within us. Acknowledging apprehension with the Amazon on the inner, the Page of Swords on the outer. There's an element of lust here that's a problem, and the higher self is saying like attracts like. What is the healing angel they need to call on to kind of bring this all together? Emerging. Now this makes sense, and I'm going to pop up the picture in a minute, but what would the angel of emerging do? Help something that is within come out. Something that starts as a little bit become more, right? Like a baby crowning, right? All you see is the top of the head at first, unless it's breached, and it's like, oh, it's got two heads and over its ass, right? Coming out that way. Emerging, allowing this process to unfold. Now this is a waning moon. One would think more likely that the angel of emerging would be there for the waxing moon, but that says that there is something definitely going on here that may be unseen as of yet. That the external part of this, being that it's the Page of Swords, it's not necessarily manifested into physical form, whatever the ideas, the thoughts, the communications are about, but it can absolutely elicit. I mean, this could be a text message from somebody that gets you all like really high, right? But really, that child of you needs to be engaged in a way of feeling safe. That if it's coming from a place of sadness or pessimism, this could be something that the child might feel it deserves. But with that angel card of emerging, there's more stuff going on here that meets the eye. Give this time to unfold, even though, right? Apprehension. Acknowledge you're apprehensive about this when you are apprehensive about it, because again, when it's a yes, nothing can stop you. When you're unsure, it's always a no. And like I said, at least for today, at least for now. So let's pop up the picture and we'll put this all together one more time. Magic clap. We have got the magical child. In the shadow attribute, pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. The light attributes, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. And I can so relate to that. I know what that's like, to go through the heartbreak, the disappointment of having something that you thought would be and then it doesn't. I mean, a lot of us had other things we were going to be doing in 2020 and it's not going that way. So of course, addressing any apprehension that's going on in your life with simply, if it's a yes, nothing can stop me. When I'm unsure, it's always a no. And to check with that child whether it's really afraid of moving on to the next larger stage, the next platform, to what? To command, to learn, to grow through. And on the inner, absolutely, with that card of the Amazon in the in position, of wanting to take control and wanting to have the motivation and the inspiration balance to move forward with this. And in the outer, I could totally see this Page of Swords coming from this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, but it's absolutely positive that they could be receiving that as well, kind of getting that Amazon, the wheels turning within. But the problem here is lust. And I gotta say, not getting a great big huge sexual lust thing here. This can be lust for money. This can be lust for power. But understand, it is almost always an adornment. It's not authentic. It's not something that developed organically from within. We want something from the outside to add on to us, to give us more of a sense of personal power. That's why lust, you'd think it would be a second chakra thing. It's not. It's a third chakra thing. Personal power. Even if you lust after someone else, it's usually about making yourself appear bigger. Look who I have, right? It's so close to greed, but not quite. And remember, like attracts like. If you are longing for more love in your life, you need to be more loving. And if we're looking at the magical child, then that love is going to come in a more innocent place. And I think that's what this reading is about love that innocence in your heart. Don't sell that kid, right? Don't sell yourself short. Allow this to gradually unfold. Allow it to emerge by giving love to your heart, even if it's just sitting for 2 minutes a day, right? For this this full moon to new moon next, this waning moon, placing your hands on your heart and talking to that magical child that says, I know we haven't gotten anything what we want, but we're on our journey, we're on our path, we don't know what's going to happen, but I'll tell you, when it's a yes, nothing's going to stop us, but when we're unsure, it's always a no, and we're going to take this journey together as this unfolds, as this emerges. And with that angel of emerging, I feel like as you are giving yourself the time, the space, the rest, the breath, the attention, the focus, the love that only you can give you, like through inner child work, but however you are guided to do that, there's going to be great power emerging in you, and it feels like this Amazon makes her journey from internal dynamic to external action. Yeah, that was it. Sometimes I have to wait till they all get on all the pieces of the puzzle on the table. But that was a really good read. May the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need. This full moon to new moon next in October 2020, that they can heal the magical child within them, acknowledging apprehension, taking this internal Amazon and this piece of information, dealing with the problem of lust, attracting like, giving themselves the love that they need to that this child feels safe, so that more power may emerge, more guidance may emerge, more grace, more creativity, and certainly more magic may emerge from them and in their lives for the well-being of all. So motivate. And so it is. Thank you for watching. Again, please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and wishing you the very best and the very blessed of this full moon to new moon next October 2020. Check your other signs. Hail. Farewell, and blessed, blessed be.